Okay, last Friday we were talking about our opinion of ourselves becoming a stronghold. And some things can really influence that opinion of ourselves as we continue on in that discussion. I was thinking about Peter. Peter, I have said openly, Peter is one of my favorite disciples. And there's a lot of things that happened to Peter in the time, you know, as you get to that Last Supper time. Jesus told Peter there, the devil really wants you. I think, wow, what a thing to tell someone. The devil is really working to get a hold of you so that he can just sift you, just shake your whole world up. But I've prayed for you, Peter. And Peter then goes on to tell Jesus, as you well know, Peter goes on to tell Jesus, I'm ready to go to the death with you. And he was. He was ready to go to the death. As I was talking about earlier, when we make these promises to God, we're sincere when we're making the promises. We really mean it. We just don't recognize what it is that we are headed into. And Peter was going to go into a struggle of several days like he had never experienced before. Comes the time that an interesting thing as Jesus begins to wash their feet. I studied under a Jewish person, and under that Jewish person, I learned some things about this, what we call the Last Supper. The Passover meal was actually what it was. And what we think in our minds, because we have this picture that has been painted, I think it was by Da Vinci, that painted the Last Supper, and it shows Jesus sitting in the center and all of the disciples sitting around the table on chairs. And it looks like a supper table, but that wasn't really the way that it was done. They actually sat on pillows-like things that was sat on the floor. They sat very low to the table, and they actually would sit kind of in a sideways way, and that's where John ends up leaning on Jesus, is because of that setup. And you would place the most exalted person. Remember, Jesus tells the parable of when you go into a supper and you don't go to the highest place, go to the lowest place, so that you are not told to go lower, but you are asked to go higher. The position of respect would have been the closest to the master. And we're going to go into why that could have possibly upset Peter. Just hang in there with me. I'm sorry that we ran out of time. We'll go to tomorrow. Thank you for watching.